You think you love your cat. You feed them, pet them, and give them a warm place to sleep, and you assume that's enough. But the truth is, cats have their own way of loving you back, a quiet, subtle, and often misunderstood language that evolved over thousands of years in the solitary shadows of the wild. They don't beg for attention like a dog, they don't wag a tail to show joy, and they certainly don't follow a social hierarchy that puts you at the top. Instead, they communicate with tiny, microscopic gestures, a slow blink that lasts a fraction of a second, a specific curl of a tail, or a soft nudge against your hand. If you miss these signs, you aren't just missing a cute moment. You are overlooking the most important windows of connection with your furry companion. Today, we're going to uncover 13 profound acts of love your cat hopes you'll give them for life. Some of these will challenge your intuition, some will explain behaviors you thought were weird, and all of them will fundamentally deepen the bond you share. If you want your cat to truly feel safe, loved, and connected, pay close attention, because these behaviors are the difference between being a roommate and being their person. Act 1. Respect. They're space cats. Value personal space in ways humans often find offensive. Have you ever reached out to pet your cat only for them to lean away or walk into the next room? It's easy to feel rejected, but here is the biological reality. For a cat, autonomy equals safety. In the wild, a cat is both a predator and prey. Being cornered or handled against their will triggers an ancient flight or fight response. When a cat steps away, they aren't saying, "I don't like you." They are saying, "I trust that you will let me be." By allowing them that distance, you are proving you aren't a threat. I remember a cat named Luna who was labeled anti-social. Her owners constantly tried to pick her up to prove they loved her, which only made her hide under the bed the moment they stopped chasing her and simply sat on the floor nearby without reaching out. The dynamic shifted. Within a week, Luna was the one initiating contact. To practice this, try the finger invitation. Instead of reaching over their head, which is a predatory move, extend one finger at their nose level. If they sniff and rub their cheek on it, you have permission. If they look away, you've shown love by simply letting them be. Act 2. The slow blink secret. One of the most intimate forms of communication in the animal kingdom is the slow blink. If you've ever caught your cat staring at you from across the room, only to see them gradually close their eyes and then slowly reopen them, you've just received a feline kiss. Biologically, closing one's eyes is the ultimate vulnerability. A cat will never do this if they feel even a 1% chance of danger. By slow blinking, your cat is telling you their nervous system is completely regulated in your presence. Scientists at the University of Sussex found that cats are significantly more likely to approach a human who slow blinks at them compared to one who maintains a neutral expression. Don't just wait for them to do it. You should initiate it yourself. Look at your cat with soft eyes. Close them for a full 2 seconds and slowly open them while looking slightly away. This lowers the social pressure and tells them that you are a friend and that you are safe. Act 3. Let them own you. Does your cat sit on your laptop the moment you open it? Do they rub their forehead against your shins until you nearly trip? While it might feel like they are just being in the way, they are actually performing a complex ritual called allo-rubbing. Cats have scent glands in their cheeks, forehead, and the base of their tail. When they rub against you, they are depositing pheromones to create a group scent. In a cat's mind, a home that smells like a mix of human and cat is a secure territory. When you wash your clothes or bring home new bags, you've broken that scent profile, and they feel the need to fix it immediately. I saw this clearly with my cat, Max, who used to sleep on my dirty laundry. I used to think it was gross, but then I realized my laundry was where my scent was strongest. He wasn't being messy. He was seeking comfort in my scent signature. Instead of shooing them away, realize that when they claim your spot, They are saying that you are part of their family. Act 4. Talk to them. Cats might not have a vocabulary, but they are masters of prosody, the rhythm and tone of a speech. Research suggests that cats can distinguish their names from other similar-sounding words, and they are highly tuned to high-pitched, gentle speaking. Think of your voice as a physical touch. A harsh, loud voice feels like a push, while a soft, melodic voice feels like a stroke. Even if you're just narrating your grocery list, the act of directing your attention and voice toward them builds a vocal bond. Try using specific trigger words for positive things, not just food, but asking, "Are you hungry?" in a very specific pitch. Over years, these vocal patterns become a safety net for your cat, helping them navigate stressful situations like vet visits or thunderstorms just by hearing the sound of your calm narration. Act 5. Play like it actually matters. Play isn't a luxury for a cat. It's a biological necessity. Because they are obligate carnivores and active hunters, their brains are wired to solve the puzzle of movement. A cat that doesn't play is like a human who is never allowed to leave a small room. They become environmentally stagnant. When you use a feather wand, don't just wave it randomly. Mimic a bird or a mouse. Let it hide behind a bush like a pillow. Let it stay still, then twitch. This engages the cat's prey drive, the sequence of stalk, pounce, kill, and eat. One cat I knew, Leo, was a problem cat who scratched the sofa and woke us up at 3 a.m. We realized he wasn't mean. He was bored. We started 15-minute high-intensity play sessions right before bed. By letting him catch the toy at the end, we satisfied his brain's need to complete the hunt. Act 6. Don't punish them like a human. This is the hardest lesson for many owners. Humans understand delayed consequences, but cats do not. If you come home to a broken vase and yell at your cat, they don't think, "I shouldn't have broken that vase." They think, "My human is unpredictable and scary." Punishment like spraying water or shouting only teaches the cat to be afraid of you, not the behavior. It shatters the bond of trust that takes years to build. Instead, the solution is environmental enrichment and redirection. If they scratch the couch, don't spray them. Put a scratching post directly in front of the spot they like and rub it with catnip. Reward the yes instead of punishing the no. When you stop being the enforcer, your cat stops seeing you as a threat and starts seeing you as a partner. Act 7. Feed them with presence. Feeding isn't just about filling a bowl. It's about trust, routine, and attention. In the wild, eating is one of the most dangerous times for a cat. Their head is down, their senses are focused on the prey, and they are inherently vulnerable to larger predators. This is why many cats will look around nervously while they eat, or prefer to have their back against a wall. When you stay near your cat while they eat, perhaps sitting a few feet away and scrolling through your phone or reading a book, you are acting as their sentry. You are guarding them while they are vulnerable. This is a concept called social facilitation. Instead of a set-it-and-forget-it approach, try making feeding a ritual. Talk to them while you prep the food, place the bowl, and stay in the room for a minute. That presence transforms a biological transaction into a bonding event. It tells them, "I've got your back." One cat I worked with, Bella, used to eat nervously and bolt at the slightest sound. After her owner started consistently being present and calm during meals, she relaxed completely. Feeding rituals, when done thoughtfully, are more than a routine. They're a shared experience that strengthens your bond and signals to your cat that they are safe in their most vulnerable moments. Act 8. Let them watch you. Cats are natural-born observers. They spend a massive portion of their lives simply watching the world go by. Sometimes, as owners, we feel the need to entertain them the moment they look at us, or we think they're being creepy, staring from across the room. But for a cat, watching you is a form of active engagement. In the wild, a feline stays safe by knowing exactly where everyone is and what they are doing. When your cat sits on a high shelf and watches you cook, clean, or fold laundry, they aren't just bored. They are participating in your life from a distance. They are learning your patterns. They know which drawer has the treats, which shoes mean you're leaving, and which blanket means it's nap time. My cat, Momo, would sit on top of the refrigerator every single evening while I prepared dinner. At first, I tried to lure her down with toys, thinking she wanted to play. But she didn't move. She just sat there, blinking slowly and purring. I realized that the kitchen was my territory, and by watching me, she was feeling connected to my routine. Respect the observer in your home. If your cat is watching you from a distance, give them a quick soft eye look or a quiet word of acknowledgement, and let them enjoy the safety of being a spectator in your world. Act 9, gentle touch, not control. Physical affection with a cat is a delicate dance of consent. Humans tend to show love by grabbing, hugging, squeezing, or picking up. To a cat, being lifted off the ground is often a terrifying loss of control. Their paws are their only way to navigate or escape. When those are taken away, their stress levels can spike. True feline intimacy is found in the lean. Have you ever noticed that if you hold your hand out, a cat will rub their cheek against you, but if you grab for them, they duck? That's because cats want to be the ones to initiate the pressure. Cats have sensitive nerve endings at the base of their fur, and too much heavy petting can actually lead to overstimulation, where the sensation turns from pleasant to painful. This is why a cat might suddenly nip you after a few minutes of petting. A good rule to follow is the 3-second rule. Pet them for 3 seconds, then stop and pull your hand back an inch. If the cat nudges your hand or leans back in, they want more. If they look away or move, they've had their fill. Respecting that stop sign is one of the highest forms of love you can show, as it reinforces that they are in control of their own body. Act 10. Keep their world clean. We often think of cleaning the litter box as a chore for us, but for a cat, it is an essential part of their mental health. A cat's sense of smell is roughly 14 times stronger than a human's. Imagine being forced to use a bathroom that hadn't been cleaned in a week. Now, imagine your nose was 14 times more sensitive. A dirty environment doesn't just smell bad to a cat, it makes them feel physically unsafe. In nature, waste attracts predators. If their den smells too strongly, their instinct tells them they are being tracked. This leads to chronic stress, which can manifest as unwanted behaviors around the house. I once saw a cat who had become aggressive simply because the owner switched to a heavily scented floral litter. To the human, it smelled like roses. To the cat, it was a chemical assault on his senses. Once they switched back to unscented, clean sand, the aggression vanished. Scoop daily, wash their bowls every morning, and keep their favorite blankets clean. When you provide a pristine environment, you are giving them the gift of peace. Act 11. Protect their routine. If you want to make a cat feel loved, be predictable. Cats are the ultimate creatures of habit, and their internal clocks are incredibly precise. They know exactly when the sun hits the rug and exactly when you usually walk through the door. Sudden changes, like a new work schedule, moving the furniture, or even bringing home a new, loud appliance, can feel like an earthquake to a cat's sense of security. When their routine is broken, they lose their map of how the world works. If you know a big change is coming, start introducing small versions of that change weeks in advance. If you're going to have a new work schedule, start shifting their feeding time by 5 minutes every day. By protecting their routine, you are telling them that even if the world is changing, you will make sure their life stays stable. Predictability signals safety. And Act 12. Be patient with their mood. Humans are one of the few species that expects their friends to be in the same mood every single day. Cats, however, are deeply affected by barometric pressure, household noise, and even their own energy cycles. Some days they are Velcro cats who won't leave your side. Other days, they want to be ghost cats who hide in the closet for hours. The act of love here is simple. Don't take it personally. If your cat doesn't want to cuddle today, it's not a reflection of your relationship. It's just their current state of being. I remember a cat named Olive who would go underground every Tuesday when the trash truck came by. Her owners used to worry and try to coax her out with treats, which only made her more stressed. Once they learned to just leave her alone and let her come out when she felt ready, she became much more confident. When your cat is in a mood, give them the gift of an invisible presence. Be in the same house, keep the vibe calm, and wait. Act 13. Just be there. Finally, the most powerful act of love is the one that requires the least effort: simple presence. In our fast-paced world, we think love needs to be an activity. We think we need to be petting, playing, or grooming. But for a cat, love is often just existing in the same radius. This is called parallel play or passive association. When your cat follows you into a room and just sits 3 feet away while you work, they are paying you the highest feline compliment. They are choosing your company over the entire rest of the house. No words, no play, just being together. That presence is enough to signal trust, security, and connection. When you look at all 13 acts together, a pattern emerges. Your cat is constantly asking one question: do I feel safe here? Every slow blink, every choice to stay nearby, every moment of observation is an answer to that question. The way you respond shapes your relationship. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need grand gestures. Small, consistent actions delivered with respect, patience, and presence create a deep, lasting bond. You're not just someone who feeds your cat. You are their stability, their comfort, and their safe place in a big, loud world. And the next time your cat slowly blinks at you, curls up nearby, or rubs against your hand, you'll know exactly what they're saying. I trust you. I love you. You are my home.